We like it a lot, clearly. How did we end up here? Kad mene pitaju kako smo završili na otoku, ja kažem tek smo počeli na otoku. But should I do it in Croatian or?
Whatever feels right to you.
Okay. Znači...
It's a big question.
Prije 5 godina sam ponovo došla u Hrvatsku nakon puno godina kako nisam bila.
Prosti, idem samo zamoliti da malo stišao glazbu.
Prvi put sam došla u Split 2011. i tada sam radila sezonski u jednoj agenciji i onda dugo godina nisam dolazila u Hrvatsku. I 2019. sam ponovo došla i onda kao ok, sad radim na daljinu, sad mogu se preseliti, bit će super. I onda te godine, tada smo se upoznali sa Seanom isto 2019. I tako samo jednostavno došli smo tu, kao ja nikad nisam bila na Visu, a bila sam i Hvar, Brač, i Mljet, Korčula, znači i Lastovo čak. I Vis me nekako je ostao još taj otok koji nisam vidjela još. I tada me je Sean pitao hoćemo li otići vidjeti, ja kao, a hoćemo naravno. I to je bilo apsolutno ovako randomno, kao ok, idemo vidjeti otok. Onda Gulaš festival i tako smo upoznali više ljudi i onda smo jednostavno shvatili da nekako nama je puno ljepše u Komiži. Jednostavno i onda ja sam iz grada koji nije baš veliki grad, ali relativno je veliki, naravno, iz Rusije i meni je bilo čudno nekako se naviknuti na ovaj život kako je sve tiho, mirno i onda odmah sam shvatila da moramo sami sebi smisliti, kako se kaže, entertainment. Ako želimo da nama ne bude dosadno, onda moramo sebi stvoriti nešto da nama ne bude dosadno. I could never imagine in my life that I would go olive picking, grape picking, just for the kicks, just because it's fun. But then when you live in Siberia, it's not a realistic scenario that you would ever do that in your life.
Wait, where are you from? What city or town?
It's West Siberia, so I was born in the north of West Siberia in a little town called Kogalin. And the closest reference I can think of is, you know, the company Lukoil?
Yes.
So the K in Lukoil is Kogalim, so that's where I'm from.
Oh my god.
Far, far away. So, and this is just fascinating to me, you know, like
now you live in komiža.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Different K.
Yeah, different K, exactly.
Yeah.
And Sean, where are you from exactly?
Really small village, like a couple hundred people in the middle of North Yorkshire, called Bishopton. Close to York. That's where I was born. And it's a really beautiful place. That's like quiet, peaceful.
I'm really like a massive geek for languages. So English, I speak English, Croatian, I learned it through here, but then the first time I heard komiški. And I realized whatever I learned of Croatian just doesn't help me here much.
Yeah, you learned some komiški now.
Yes, a little bit. But it's more about to understand.
Let's hear it.
Tekoj.
Znam. If I want to pay in a cafe, I wouldn't say jel mogu platit, I would say jel mogu plotit. And another one I learned recently that iskala is tražila, and it's the same word as in Russian. We also say iskala, and that was the point that I was going for. That it's komiški is fascinating to me because I recognize a lot of words that are exactly the same in Russian, let alone their Italian words, Spanish. That it's such a, like the language here, the dialect reflects how diverse this place. Basically the point was that, even though the island seems so isolated, but it's also open to the whole, like to the outside world. And I unfortunately, I still don't know much about the history of the island, but I can feel that, like in the language, you can feel how many different impacts it had. And it's all reflected in the language. So yeah, I would, it's not like my big aspiration, but I would love to learn some komiški to be like able to express myself.
Bog, ja sam Josip, Niš, živim u Zagrebu. Nisam od tamo rodom, ali tamo nek se proveo čitav život.
U Zagrebu?
Da.
A kako to da si sad u Komiži?
Pa nekak, stjecajem okolnosti.
Koliko dugo si u Komiži?
Pa par mjeseci. Došao sam tamo poslije Gulaša, krajem 9. mjeseca.
I šta, samo se odlučio ostati?
Da.
Taj Gulaš je očito povezao puno ljudi.
Ja sam došao poslije Gulaša. Pa dobro je u biti, da, ne mogu reći.
Taman nakon gulaša.
Mislim, bar iz ovog što ja znam, kao, mislim, sva ta ekipa koja, ja sam došao tjedan dana poslije gulaša, tako da dosta ekipe koje na gulašu ostane, mislim, dosta. Nekolicina, sad na gulašu bili dosta ljudi, ali nekolicina se odluči ostati. Sam bio pre 3 godine i došao sam otprilike u istom periodu, taman tjedan dana poslije gulaša. I tad je bilo dosta ljudi u biti i ostalo poslije festivala, tako i ove godine, tako da...
A do kad misliš biti?
Pa nemam pojma. Do sad sam onak kao odlučio prezimiti ovdje, to mi se činilo kao dobra ideja.
I je li bilo dobra ideja?
Doći proljeće, pa nemam pojma, mislim da je.
Pa kak ti je tu?
Pa dobro.
Kaj ti je najdraže života ovdje prek zime?
Pa meni najdraži dio je možda to što samog sebe, imam bar osjećaj da samog sebe malo bolje poznajem. Životno je nekako, to mi je najveći valjda, ne znam, djeluje stvarno.
Po čemu?
Opet u isto vrijeme magično, a opet u isto vrijeme stvarno. Tako da ta neka kombinacija jednog i drugog, kod onak hodeš kroz san, zanimljivo je. Pa ljudi su nekako, dosta su fiksirani u svojim pozicijama ovdje, kao svako ima svoje mjesto, tako da pružit će ti ruku, ali u isto vrijeme moraš, nekako naći svoje mjesto, tako da, eto, u tom smislu.
A kaj radiš tu? Kako provodiš dane?
Pa sad sam počeo raditi, to je prošle godine, u 11. mjesecu. To je bio taj period kao kad sam odlučio hoću ići dalje ili ću ostati ovdje, pa sam morao naći neki job. Smještaj mi treba prije svega. Tako da...
Što radiš?
Bauštela.
A gdje živiš?
U Visu.
A imaš neki smještaj vezan uz posao ili šta?
Da.
Ko su ti kolege? S kim radiš?
Pa, bauštelci.
Bauštelci, ali kod su, jel su Hrvati?
Ne. Dobro ima par domaćih, tu iz Bisa baš, ali su iz BiH.
I kakva ti je ekipa s posla?
Pa teški ljudi, karakterni, ali zanimljivi opet u isto vrijeme, tako da baš je show. Podupiru se međusobno, to onak ogromna kvaliteta, mislim bar u ovoj firmi gdje sam ja baš, fakat je težak posao, ali imaju tu jebi ga cijeli život su baušteli, navikli su da ako podijele teret međusobno da onda se lakše obavljaju stvari, tako da baš je velika je suradnja, ali u isto vrijeme su pod dosta stresa, tako da zna doći do pucanja, kužiš, ali nekak se stvari se jednostavno opet vrate na mjesto i funkcionira.
The udruga that we are in process of registering now, we chose the name Kolur, and it's a komiški word, komiška riječ, and kolur you can recognize that it's color, boja, and also it was kind of symbolic for us because we are all from different places, we are Furešti. And in a way it reflects the diversity and how many different things we want to do, and it just felt like the perfect name for it that reflects it in many ways.
At the same time, we want to do, what's fun and what can be fulfilling, give our time to, but they were already doing that. They just kind of forgot about it, honestly. Before the lockdown and everything, they were using Vashta, the community center, for dancing classes, like even the same bakala, balak, bachata, that one, and salsa, bakalar,
Salsa and
bakalar, and shach. They were using it for that, so we were like, why don't they do it anymore? It used to be a kindergarten, and before that, and there was Heklania here. There's loads of boxes and books and magazines. It was like a Disney Pixar movie where you just but nobody does it, and it stays empty all day.
That's amazing.
So what if we did it and it wasn't empty all day?
And there is just so much potential, but then at some point maybe the energy goes down and there is no will to organize it, but it can just take one person to be like, hey, let's do everything, let's do all of these things again. And it's just brilliant, and I'm personally super happy when people show up, And yeah, just suggest things like the other day, not the other day, a couple weeks ago, this woman called Cvetanka Bozanic, she is a Spanish language professor and she is a very, how do you say, inspiring crocheting person. So she suggested that we do this project and we are making a little octopus, hobotnica, for kids. And it's like, how do you call it? For babies who are born prematurely, you put these little hobotnicas in their incubator, so it's like a big project, and I had no idea about it. And then this woman just shows up out of nowhere, and we're just like, of course, let's do it, you know, this is incredible. And then you get to know her and her story, and other women who show up, and it's just, I don't know, it's just so rewarding, just so...
That's amazing. That's amazing. And there's something poetic about newcomers coming and then continuing the tradition in some way of the locals that kind of, you know, maybe stopped doing some things that were meaningful.
People who know how to do it, they don't believe that anyone has any interest in that. Like today, the neighbor from this building, and lady, she's, I think she keeps saying that she's 80 years old and that's why she doesn't crochet anymore, like as if that's the reason. But she was showing us these incredible things that she made, and she says like, oh, this jumper I made, it's like 50 years old. And these are brilliant things, you know, and people do actually wear stuff like that these days, but she thinks that no one cares anymore, you know? So,
and she took out like 5, 6 different things. Like she had her doilies. They were beautiful.
Yeah.